What if I told you you are 7 minutes away from being ready for your day? Tell me if this sounds like you. You set up a beautiful plan for yourself at the start of your month, but by the second week, it is all screwed up. And once it's all screwed up, it can feel really hard to connect the dots again. What you need is a quick, dirt simple routine that you can do any time of the day to get you back on track faster than you can make a cup of coffee. In this video, I'm gonna walk you through my super simple daily routine that you can do no matter how far behind you are, and it will help you get your life together in under 7 minutes. Let's head over to the flat lay. All right, before we begin, you guys know we have to have our supplies. I've got my planners, I've got my pens, I've got my coffee, I've got everything I need. And before anybody says, I thought this girl was using only one planner this year, I told y'all I'd be keeping the Hobonichi weeks in my back pocket just in case I really was desperate to go back into something in 2024 that felt comforting and felt familiar. And this is what it is. This is real. This is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. If you have two planners also, this setup will also work for two planners or multi-planner systems. Might take a little bit longer than 7 minutes, but it still will work for you. So we have everything we need to get started. And now I want to talk to you about the 3 basic steps for launching yourself back into productivity in a very short amount of time. It's really very easy, simple process that can take you from feeling overwhelmed at your workload to creating a starting point for your day. So step 1 is to get clear. Now, getting clear means reviewing and updating what you have done in the past so that you are starting on a fresh slate. Basically, you are clearing your plate for the next phase. Getting clear is pretty simple. You need to update any calendars, planners, or trackers you have and also review any open loops. Note that reviewing is not the same as reflecting. Reflecting is going to be journaling about your progress. It's longer form. It's more, how did this go? How did that go? That takes a long time. What I'm talking about here is going into your productivity past and just catching yourself up. So when you're catching yourself up, you want to be updating your planners, your calendars, planners, and trackers. So I'm going to start actually in my monthly section. This is my Hobonichi Day Free. It's the main planner I'm sort of in and out of. And as you can see, I have nothing here for January, which means I really don't have my month at a glance, even though as of right now, I'm filming this on Tuesday and it is halfway through the month of January. So to do this, I'm just going to update as much as I can in as quick amount of time as I can. And you want to skip the unnecessary stuff here. For example, this is a sleep tracker that I started keeping. I also had one for December. I started keeping one for January. I didn't write anything in there, and that's okay. There's no way I'm going to remember how I was sleeping for the past several weeks. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to update the last 2 nights, which I do remember, and call it good. Don't really need that data anyway. So I'm just going to say, okay, yes, yesterday I slept pretty well. I slept a good, I think I slept a good like 9 hours last night. And then I know the day before I got 8 hours. And then I'm pretty sure I also got 8 hours the day before. And I would have also gotten it on the 12th. I had a few days off in a row. So I would have gotten pretty good sleep those few days. So now that I know that, that's my tracker updated, and I'm just going to start from there and carry on for the rest of the month. Similarly, I'm going to go through and update my calendar to the best of my ability. I like to have my calendar as current as possible because my memory about what I've actually accomplished is like shockingly bad. So this is my record. But if I forget something or don't like log everything, that's totally fine. We're just trying to get a snapshot so that when I look back on it or need to look forward into the future, I can just remember sort of here and there what I've done. So I'm going to do that real quick for you. Okay, so now that this is all filled out, you can see I sort of have a loose outline of my month. I marked off some important things that I did in the past, like what movies I've seen. I always refer back to this to see what date I saw certain movies on, and then what stuff I have coming up. I have a party on this day, I have my friend's birthday on that day, I have therapy, all that kind of stuff. So this has been, boom, checked off, and now I can consider myself having gotten clear here. Another way I do that is with my Hobonichi weeks. Again, like I said, I've been using this planner alongside my sort of like more productivity focused planner as a health tracker. So it's not really something I'm in every single day. Generally, stuff looks like this. So I have my spread will have events. So I'll have like events that I have done, like or happenings throughout the week that I have here. I have how that made me feel or what I was feeling during the day, what was going on in my body, if I felt any like aches or pains, what food I ate, and then any notes for the week. So this has been like a fun health tracker to do. It's not super important, but if you're getting clear clear on everything, you might as well get clear on everything, and this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm not going to show you the final product because it is a lot of personal information, but just FYI, this is why this is here. So you want to do it definitely for your productivity system, and then any other trackers that you have, such as this, you want to also update those as well. Okay, now that that's done, let's move on. The last thing you want to do to get clear is to review any open loops. You want to go through your task manager and basically check off everything that you've done and delete anything that no longer needs doing. So if you are using a digital task manager, you might be doing this on a computer. For me, I am just going to go back into my most recent week and look at this and say, okay, I did that, nothing else. Those are the only things that I did on that day yesterday. So that's great. So then I know that these things need to be moved to a future list. So you basically want to close the loops that you can close and then notice what is still open and still needs to be moved forward into your next date. Now you might feel really scattered if you try to do this over a long period of time. Like I'm just doing this for yesterday, but you might, have weeks and weeks that you have not updated your planner in a proper fashion. And in that case, I recommend making a brain dump of everything you have to do. And from there, we will move on to the next step. We're just trying to get you unstuck here though. So any reflection on how the past few weeks or days or whatever have gone can happen later. But for this process, we just want you to review, update, and move on. Okay, quick break here. On this channel, we spend a lot of time talking about how to optimize your planner for productivity, but I have my day job in web. So I spend a lot of time trying to optimize online forms. And it's hard. We all fill out a lot of online forms on the reg, so making something that actually sticks out can be really time consuming. That's why I was really happy to find our sponsor, Visme Forms. Visme Forms offers a fresh approach to online forms that will transform the way you create them. Their tools bring a new life to your website or email list in a way that is proven to boost conversion rates. And there is nothing I love more on God's green earth than a good conversion rate. But seriously, they've literally done studies where Visme boosts your conversion rate like by double, so it's pretty good. With Visme Forms, you get access to a variety of stunning templates, easy drag and drop tools, and a bunch of customizable options to match your style. Plus, it's all backed by an insightful analytics dashboard, and integration with your CRM or email platform of choice is totally seamless. My favorite part of Visme is this little dude. At work, I'd normally call him my customizable 3D avatar, but it's Sunday, so he's my little dude. So if you want to give any of this a shot, head over to the link in my description to get started totally free and elevate your online presence. All right, back to updating my planner. So let's go to step 2, which is to get current. Now, getting current means getting up to date on your priorities and starting to develop that to-do list that you can act on right now. So let's take a look at my open loops. Depending on how much of a backlog you have here, this may take time, a little longer than the 7 minutes I'm promising, but a tip I like to use is, does this need to be done? Does this need to be done now? And does this need to be done by me? This helps, especially if you have moved open loops from day to day or week to week for a while now, and they're just not getting done. I actually do have a whole video on prioritizing and how to prioritize that goes really deep into this method. And I'm going to go ahead and leave that linked up in the cards if you want to check that out, so you can have a little bit more practice on how to prioritize your tasks. But basically, if the answer is yes to all these questions, does this need to be done? Does it need to be done now? Does it need to be done by me? You want to move those tasks onto your task list that you will now do. So we are getting current, we're getting up to date, and focusing on the things that are really important that we can get done right away. Okay, now I have a list for today with today's date on it of tasks that definitely need to be done by me, and definitely need to be done now. So this is my current priorities list now. For me, I just have it as today. This is my today list, but for you, it might be your weekly list or however, on whatever scale you like to update your planner. Now that we have our current priorities list, we're going to use this in the next step. And step 3 is just to get going. It's time to start making progress on your tasks. So take a look at your current priorities list, or your today list in my case. If it's a few items long, this is a really easy list to start getting going with right away and for today, but sometimes your lists will be a bit longer. So I'm going to go ahead and just go in and star 3 things. If you're feeling really overwhelmed, if your list looks really long, starring 3 things that you need to get done today or can get done today is going to be really helpful, because it's going to help you just narrow in in on the things that are like at the top of the list, even if they're not literally at the top of the list. So I know that emails are a very important part of my job. I have 3 emails on this list. I'm going to star all emails. I have to RSVP for an event, but honestly, that can be done whenever. It doesn't necessarily need to be done today, but I have my 3 items that are starred. So I know I have to start with these. And like I said, if your list is really long, this is really going to help because that means these items are like DEFCON 1. Must be done today. They are your highest priority projects. And if you get them done today, you'll feel really accomplished. And that's the goal of the 7-minute planner update. You just want to find the things that are going to help you get back on track, write them down, and be able to check them off at the end of the day. So these are mine. And then you simply need to get started. At the end of the day, we just need to understand that getting started is better than being perfect. So even if you don't follow all of these steps to a T, or if you leave a few things behind in last month or yesterday's setup, it's okay because getting started on progressing towards your goals still means forward movement. Now, if you want some tips on setting up your planner week by week to make sure that you don't fall behind, click on this video right next to my head. It has some useful information on that, and we can keep hanging out there. Thank you so much for watching, for being subscribed, for being awesome. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next one.